collaborative improvement innovation across the state. They share best practices, lessons learned. They even share fast codes on how to extract vital statistics data in real time, and we're seeing some early results of that effort. So over the last 3 years or so, there's been about a 30% reduction in early elective delivery across the trial, translating to about 85,000 early elective deliveries averted. There was also about 12% decline in smoking during pregnancy, translating to about 18,000 fewer pregnant women smoking across now, about 6% reduction in preterm birth, translated to about 22,000 preterm birth averted. Now, of course, the point can't take credit for all of these reductions, but what the point has really done is to accelerate that collaborative improvement innovation across the state. So last year we took the Coin national, we expanded it to every state and every region, so that now every state, every territory has a Coin team, and they're going to be working collaboratively over the next 18 months to move the needle on the 3 S's and 3 P's. The S is for safely, smoking cessation and social determinants, and the T's for preconception health, preterm birth, and perinatal immunization. Building on the success of the infant mortality coin, we also launched a new coin this last year with the goal of preventing 100,000 child deaths or hospitalizations due to preventable injuries. Again, we're working with about 21 states, 30 national organizations, as well as all of our different federal partners, using a coin approach to accelerate that collaborative improvement innovation, recognizing that as a nation we're really at our best when we come together like this. We launched another initiative called the Bridging the War Gap Research Network Compliance Challenge. The War Gap describes that gap that for kids in this country by the time they get to 3 years of age, that kids growing up in poor households have already been exposed to 30 million fewer words than kids growing up in poor households. That's that parent-child interaction. And you're just not going to get a fair shot in life if you start preschool already 30 million words behind that parent-child interaction. And I think that the reason that the gap is there is not because the parents are poor. The reason that the gap is there is often because of the early home environment, that early nurturing environment. And in fact, that's what our home visitors tell us quite a lot, that when they go into some of these homes, that other than the TV playing in the background, it's awfully quiet. There's just not a whole lot of that talking and singing and laughing, that parent-child servant-molly interactions are so critically important for early brain development. Again, not only in the areas that have to do with language acquisition and reasoning and thinking, but also in the areas that help you relate and connect to others, in areas that help you control your impulses and emotions. These are all critically important for success in school and later on in the life. So we're launching a research network as well as a prize challenge to help us better understand the causes of and also and the strategies to bridge the war gap. I have to say that the prize challenge is something very new to us, and we're working with the White House Office of Science, Technology, and Policy, as well as some of the folks that in the industry that are used to running prizes like the X Prize. And basically what we do is we put out this challenge to the tech industry to help us come up with low-cost technology-based solution, like a wearable device or an app for a smartphone that's going to help motivate that parent-child interaction to help bridge the word gap. Now, certainly technology is not the whole solution here, but it definitely can play a role, and we believe that this prize challenge could be a new way for us to really drive innovation in the small child health. We also launched an initiative around rural child poverty. As you all know, about 1 in 4 kids growing up in rural America is growing up poor, and the reason we're involved is that if we really want to do something about poverty, in this country. We got to start early, recognizing that a healthy brain is probably the child's best ticket out of poverty. So again, working with various federal partners across departments. In fact, the first meeting that I had at the White House on this issue, 5 cabinet secretaries showed up. And what we're really trying to do is to approach it, to take a more comprehensive approach, take a two-generation approach, helping kids thrive by helping their kids succeed to break that intergenerational cycle of poverty. And let me just talk about one more program that we improved, innovated, and transformed. In fact, this is really the first program that I transformed after I got to MCHB, and this is a program for children with epilepsy. And so this is about 2 months after I started my job, and I saw this draft funding opportunity announcement on my desk with a little sticky note that said, we're a little late on this. This should have been posted 2 weeks ago. Could you please just sign it? And I said, well, so I get you read it first. But since this program's been going on for a while, it's funded at over $1 million a year. So I asked the project officer to come in, and I asked her, so it's been going on for a decade. What impact has it had? What difference has it made? So the project officer told me, well, we don't really know because we haven't been doing the evaluation. I said, well, at least tell me how many kids we're serving. That's a pretty reasonable question. She said, well, we haven't been collecting that data. And so I said I wasn't going to sign this FOA until I get some data. So she went back to the grantee. They went back and forth for several weeks, and she came back and she said, well, we think maybe 25, but we're not quite sure if these are in duplicate counts. Are you kidding me? For $1 million, I can fly a neurologist on a private jet to do home visits for cheaper. So we canceled the program and we decided to completely revamp it. Now, for many of the kids with complex seizure disorders, especially if they're living in rural communities, underserved communities, that they often have difficulty accessing quality services because the primary care providers in the local communities don't feel comfortable managing complex seizure disorders, and that the nearest specialist may be hundreds of miles away. So what you really need to do is to develop a co-management relationship between the local primary care provider and the hub of specialists, and that's what some of our grantees decided to do, that they're using telehealth, teleeducation technologies to extend the reach of the program. So I'm happy to report that in 2 years, this program went from serving about 25 kids a year to serving about 9,000 kids in the last 2 years. So again, this is just an example of how we're transforming many of our programs, including programs for children with special health care needs. And it's really not enough for our program to just offer quality services to people who can access our program. That we're really working hard to expand the reach of our program to those who traditionally didn't want out of those services, to move our nation closer to that vision that no matter where you live in this country, that no matter the family you were born into or the color of your skin, you should have access to the same high-quality services as anybody else. You should have access to early screening, early diagnosis, early intervention, access to a medical home and community system care where the family is front and center in providing that care. So we've been working hard at making change happen over the last 4 years. The question is, are we doing enough? What more can we do? How can we do better? So in time remaining, I'm going to offer up a few of my own ideas. So I'm also going to take advantage of the fact that I do have an audience of some of the best and brightest in the country. So I'm going to use you as a sounding board. And I appreciate any feedback, any suggestions that you have for these ideas that I'll share with you. So let me just start with this framework developed by 2 of my biggest heroes in the telehealth. Julius Richmond of Head Start and Bill Carson of the index for prenatal utilization. They say to bring about real change, you need three things: knowledge base, social strategy, and political will. I think to bring about real change in the Hall, we really need to do all three. So let's start with growing MCH knowledge base. And thanks to the great work that you're doing and many people like you are doing around the country, the MCH knowledge base has been vastly expanding over the last decade. Advances in neuroscience, in molecular biology, in epigenetics has offered new insights, suggest new approaches to improving the small cell health in this country. But I do worry that if we keep doing more of the same, I'm not sure how much we're going to be able to really expand the MCH knowledge base to really move the needle in MCH over the next decade. And that's because so much of the current research, so many of the new discoveries are still happening in silos. Institutional silos, disciplinary silos, population and geographic silos, which slice and dice MCH, ages and stages, diseases and body parts, that we lose a good deal of opportunities for collaborative and innovation. So if we really want to accelerate knowledge creation, knowledge generation, and MCH, we got to bust out of these piles. And we really need to be taking a more integrative approach, similar to the one that was recommended by the National Research Council, the 10 thematic priorities for research investment. To take a whole child, whole family, whole community approach to solve some of the biggest problems in MCH, from neurons to neighborhood, from genes to society, across silos, across domains, across the life force. Now, this would take a more transdisciplinary approach than how research is currently funded and conducted. And the whole idea is bringing folks from different disciplines and different backgrounds with different lenses and different tools to help answer some of the biggest questions in MCH. Now, easier said than done, right? It's hard enough to get OBGYN and pediatricians in the same room, let alone all the biomedical sciences, all the social and behavioral sciences. So how do we create that research ecosystem within the institution? And we work with some place to promote topics about diversity and disciplinarity, which we believe are the two major drivers of innovation. And this isn't just about bringing people from different disciplines to work on different problems. What stage has disciplinary research part or interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary research to the level of intellectual innovation? So, for example, in our research network, we bring researchers from different disciplines and different backgrounds from all over the country, and they actually spend their first year developing a common agenda, a common conceptual framework, and setting common priorities on things that they want to work on for the next few years. And I'll say one more thing about growing MCH technology space is that if we really want to move the needle in MCH over the next decade, we really have to accelerate translation, fast count translation. Now, discovery research has its place, but we can't get stuck on discovery phase. We really need to accelerate translation, and not only from T1 to T2 or bedside to curbside, but also T2 to T3 curbside, from rescue to bedside, but also T2 to T3 from bedside to curbside, and T3 to T4 from curbside to policy to accelerate that translation of research to practice and policy. The other day, I went on a webinar on parental brain changes in the postpartum period. And as I was watching these MRI images about changes in the parental brain, it struck all the missed opportunities for improving parenting and supporting families when our postpartum literacy still focuses so much more on the maternal uterus than on the maternal brain. I think these types of insights that really shouldn't just come because I happen to log on to a webinar or come and speak at ChildX. That innovation shouldn't just occur by coincidence or happenstance. So how do we engineer more rapid and reliable translation so it doesn't take 17 years for research to change practice? And how do we build a national automated system in MCH with all the built-in sensors and feedback loops that will help accelerate translation of research to practice and policy? Second, growing social strategy. And by that, I mean both clinical intervention as well as community intervention, both individual level intervention as well as population level intervention. And here's where we still need to do a lot more work, especially outside of the clinical setting, where much of what we do still don't have a very strong knowledge base or a strong evidence base. And those that do, for example, the Abbotsford or the Harry School or the Almira First County home visiting, those that do usually are the evidence base is generated by these large trials where participants are randomized to an intervention and control group, and then you follow the kids for the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and you have to wait 5, 10, 20 years to see if the intervention works. That's still the gold standard, but it's not very nimble. It doesn't allow you to continuously improve and innovate once the standardized intervention has been defined. So the alternative is to take an engineering approach, using both quality improvement as well as collaborative innovation methods. That's like what we're doing with the point that allows for more rapid cycle testing, looking at data to see what's working and what's not in real time, making tweaks and fixes and improvements as we go, learning as much from failures as we do from successes, so that we're constantly learning, constantly improving, and constantly innovating. And this improving and innovating really should not take place in silence. And for the point, we created a collaborative space for states to learn from each other, to innovate with each other, to incubate swarm creativity. Our model for the point is to share seamlessly and to steal shamelessly. In a sense, we created this collaboratory of 59 states and jurisdictions, all coming together to work on common aims, common strategies, and to continuously innovate, looking at data in real time to drive real time improvement, to be able to build that evidence base as they go. And let me just say one more thing about growing social strategy, is that we just have to get a lot more precise in what we do. Okay. So traditionally, when we evaluate the effectiveness of an intervention, we look at its impact averaged across the study population, without looking at who benefited most from the intervention and who benefited not at all. And the average impact across the study population is statistically better than what we see in the control group, then we declare success, even though the effect may be very modest. And then we scale it up to different populations in different communities, and then we wonder why we don't see the same kind of population level benefits as we saw in the original trial. So what we really need to do, much like what precision medicine is trying to do, to identify which drugs or what dose works best for which patient. In public health, we have to move towards defining which intervention works best for which population under what circumstances. So moving toward precision public health. Now this would require a whole new way of doing these types of intervention